Okay, everyone, welcome this morning to the first of the tasting sessions here at Pub19. We've got an alcohol-free gin and tonic tasting for you this morning, and that's being brought to you by us, which is Club Soda. For those of you who don't know, Club Soda is a mindful drinking movement. We have over 30,000 members who are people changing their drinking. We run the Mindful Drinking Festival, and we're doing lots of research around how to improve sales of low and no alcohol in pubs and bars and restaurants, and we'll be showing some of that with you over the next few days at Pub19. But I'm really excited about this session because it's a really good one to kick off Pub19 because you've got a couple of long days ahead of you. And I'm going to pass you over to Ben from Fever Tree, who's going to talk to you a bit more about the growth of the botanical spirits and where they fit into the pub serve.
Thanks, Laura. So hello, I'm Ben, and I work for Fever Tree. I'm going to stand over here and not wander about. I've just been told I might wander about here like this a little bit. But yeah, I work for Fever Tree. For those of you who don't know about Fever Tree, so we are a mixer brand, and all of our products are made using artificially, no, that's the complete opposite, naturally sourced ingredients, and they're all designed to complement premium spirits. So obviously, as you know, we've been mixing our tonic waters in particular with gin and other spirits for a long, long time. But there's really this increase in demand for non-alcoholic drinks in pubs at the moment. So more and more people, particularly young people, are choosing either not to drink at all or to be a lot more mindful about their drinking. And there's a real sort of disparity, it seems, in a lot of pubs between the demand for non-alcoholic drinks and actually the range and the quality of the non-alcoholic drink experience. So obviously, as I say, we're a mixer brand. We're designed to complement premium spirits. You can drink our products on their own if you like. They're very, very good, I promise you, particularly the flavoured tonics. But actually, there's a real emergence of a brand new category now, which is non-alcoholic spirits. And this has really only been around for sort of a year or two even as a category now, whereas non-alcoholic beer has been around for a long, long time, and I think people are very sort of well-versed in non-alcoholic beer. Lots of people don't really understand what a non-alcoholic spirit is, and I guess someone said to me the other day, it's in the same way that dairy-free milk. People didn't really get dairy-free milk, but now it's really, it's quite a popular thing. So, as I say, it's a really exciting new category, and as a mixer brand, what works really well for us is the fact that our products are designed to complement premium spirits, whether they be gin, whiskey, or non-alcoholic spirits. I also mentioned earlier on about experience, that I think that what is really missing, there are lots and lots of non-alcoholic products available, but the experience is very different to the alcohol drinking experience. So first of all, the sort of complexity of flavors and the range of products that you have, but also how they're served. So what's great here is you get the two-part pour, you get the added complexity of flavors that a lot of these non-alcoholic spirits bring to you. But crucially, I think what you need to do in sites, and what people really need to do to excite those people who are looking for a different experience, is treat it with the same care and attention that, for example, a gin and tonic would be treated with. So the glassware is really, really important. The ice is really important. The garnish is really important. Make people feel like they're having the same experience as if they were drinking an alcoholic spirit and mixer. So what's great today, as I say, it's really an emerging category. There are dozens and dozens, in fact, of brands that have come out over the last kind of year, and we've got three with us today. So they're going to talk to you a bit more about the flavors and about their brand coming into it. What I will say, as well as how you're serving the drinks, what's really, really important is to give your staff the knowledge to be able to know what they're talking about and know what they're serving. So again, finding out about these drinks and training your staff, but then also telling the customers. I know it may sound silly, but actually, if you've got a range of bottles on the bar, people might not realise that then there are some non-alcoholic spirits within them. So there's a little leaflet on your table. Some of you may know that we've been putting together bespoke gin and tonic menus for people for a long, long time. So this is actually, we design them site by site. The sites will tell us what gins they want to put in there. And also what mixes. We put the tasting notes in there. There's absolutely no reason why we can't do this with non-alcoholic spirits as well, either in isolation, so just a non-alcoholic drinks menu, or we can add them to the gin and tonic menus or the spirit and mixer menus that we're doing. So please do, as I say, first of all, make sure that your staff know about the drinks. Second of all, that they serve them really well and give them the care and attention they deserve. And thirdly, that you tell the customers about them. And this is a really great way to do that. So I'm not going to ramble on anymore. We're going to pass on to the first, or I'm going to pass back to Laura by the look of it.
I was going to introduce you to Jeff from CEDER'S. There's some more coming out for you, those of you who haven't got any in front of you. But this is CEDER'S, and welcome Jeff, who's going to take you through his product.
Thank you, Laura. If I just tell you a little bit about the background to CEDER'S, that we used to have a bar in Torquay. We had quite a few people coming in, not wanting to drink, and also didn't want to drink the sugary-free alternatives that you normally get offered when you're not drinking. So we started to develop a calorie-free, non-alcoholic, allergen-free alternative that stands up as a refreshing drink in its own right. And we also wanted to make it reflective of where we're from. So from the south coast, all that lovely sea air and refreshing feeling that you get from there. So we use 12 botanics. We got a few which are aligned to gin. So juniper, obviously, cardamom, coriander. We got 3 citrus fruits in there. But one of the main botanics we've got is kelp, sea kelp, which adds quite a sort of refreshing element to the drink and another dimension. So we spent about 6 months developing the drink in our kitchen, trying various extraction techniques, and came across a few disgusting tasting things along the way. But I think what we've come up with is something which offers a genuine alternative. It sits very nicely alongside all the gins on the shelf. It's not meant to take the place of gin, because when you want to have a drink, you will do. This is for the times that you don't want to, when you want to be a bit more mindful. For whatever reason, be it for a night, for a month, as a way of life, that you can have something which is a sophisticated alternative. So we also try to be a responsible producer. We don't use any plastics. We don't use recycled card in the packaging. The bottles are sprayed with solvent-free paint. So from that side of it, we're trying to do our bit to, just look after where we live and where we play. And it's how do you serve it? You serve it straight as a C&T, where you can just have it along with the tonic, lots of ice, squeeze of lime. As we've done it today, it goes nicely with herbs, any citrus flavours. So we got it with grapefruit and rosemary. Or it goes well with the flavoured tonics that you can get, like the cucumber tonic, the grapefruit tonic. So for a nice, easy serve, and that just creates a nice, refreshing drink. So if you've any questions, please ask. No? Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and I'll pass you back to Laura.
Cool, thank you very much. I like the idea of a C&T, I have to say, so I like that. And we will do some more opportunities for questions near the end, because you may have questions for all of the producers today. Who likes the CEDER'S? I've got a West Country bias, so I really love it. So, okay, so our next product we're bringing along is going to be CEDER'S. Has anyone got any questions? While we wait. Oh, cool. Hang on a minute. Let me come here. Well, if it's not... Well, all right, I'll let you.
I'm able to taste a little bit of it just on its own without mix.
Are they able to taste it on its own? I know that the botanicals are normally very keen, Jeff, about asking about, can they taste it on its own? I know you prefer...
Yeah, it's not a problem, but we developed it so that when you mix it with the tonic, so you put a citrus flavour with it, that the acidity releases the flavours that are within the drink. You can try it on its own. It's got a different flavour profile when you drink it neat, but I'll bring you some over so you can try it. But it was really designed to be paired with the tonics.
Thank you very much. It is a question that comes up often. I drink most of them neat, actually, myself. But anyway, we're going to bring these round for you now while Maria talks about her product.
Wow, this is more work than I've done in a Tuesday morning before. So CEDER'S, is we call ourselves a distilled non-alcoholic alt gin. And so we're an alternative to gin because we are mainly juniper-based. We've got 3 variants in our range. I believe you have a little card in front of you with our... Yes, there we go. So we've got one classic flavor, which is closest to a London dry gin. So it's got notes of coriander and juniper. Then we have a crisp variant that's got more notes of cucumber and chamomile. Some people have very kindly referenced it to Hendrix before. Hopefully Hendrix is all right for that. And then we have what you have in front of you now. And I really do hope that it is the perfect serve that you got, because, well, it's half of a perfect serve that I've speedily made in there, but it's our wild edition. So it's CEDER'S Wild, and in addition to, I sometimes call this our least ginny gin. So it still has juniper as a key ingredient, but it has quite a lot of punchy flavors as well, including clove, rooibos, which makes it, as you see, slightly off-colored, and also ginger and grapefruit. So it has more of those notes that a spicy gin will have. A little bit of background behind the brand. We use a lot of South African botanicals in our product. So we use rooibos and buchu in all of our alt gins. And the reason for that is because my husband, who I co-founded this brand with, he is from South Africa. And so the botanicals we source from the Cederberg mountain, 2 hours outside of Cape Town. We produce in Sweden. The reason for that is because I'm Swedish, and water is a very important ingredient in a non-alcoholic product, in a non-alcoholic distilled product. And I believe that Sweden has some of the best water in the world. So those are the reasons why we are a Swedish/South African brand. We launched here in the UK in July last year. We already have quite a wide distribution. We're available through most of the main retailers, but we are, of course, also really hoping to go into more of the on-trade, so more bars and restaurants. I myself enjoy a wine occasionally. My husband, Craig, he doesn't drink any alcohol, and I do find it's getting better. But it is sometimes very limiting when you go out for a nice meal or to a pub or a bar or restaurant, and there simply isn't anything other than plain tonic, sparkling water, or, best case scenario, some sort of lemonade. But very glad to see that landscape is changing with botanical spirits, but also, of course, with phenomenal beers and other products. Laura, is my time up?
Has anybody got any questions? I have to say, you brought out 3 varieties straight away, which I thought was a very brave thing to do. Why did you do that?
So it wasn't really the intention. We were playing around with flavors in order to get one that we wanted to launch with. But as you know, when you do that, you often go down different routes. And then we ended up at 3 different routes where we were very pleased with all of the variants that we had in front of us. And we realized that gin drinkers are certainly a very diverse category of consumers. Gin is a very diverse category, and a lot of some gin consumers like one gin, but they don't like the other. And that's why we decided to kind of be a bit bold, and instead of drop launching one and then launching the other in 6 months, we kind of decided to go big and launch all at the same time, which I feel has been quite a good strategy, I hope.
Well, I went to a big supermarket in Edinburgh, so Scotland isn't necessarily where you would expect to find these things, and all 3 varieties were in there. It was very exciting to see. If you haven't got any questions now, I am going to bring each of the producers back near the end as well. So if you do have any particular questions, we can ask all 3 of those people. So thank you very much, Maria. And next we're going to move on to Borrago. I hadn't contemplated the thought that I'd have to do these little fill-in bits here. So, has anyone who liked the CEDER'S? You like the CEDER'S? I'm not going to ask who's got a favourite, because I think they're all quite different, and they've all got their own different story. So coming around now is Borrago, and that's being served with the aromatic tonic from Fever Tree, which means it's a stronger tonic in there, really, which I'm sure he would tell you about and why that's the case. Cool. Tom from Borrago.
Thank you very much. Firstly, welcome everybody. Sorry, we're over here. If you look on your tables, there should be some free bar blades. If you haven't got one, you're probably hiding at the back. There's some more up the front, so we'd love you to have one of those. And coming round is a Borrago and tonic. We're serving this today with Fever Tree's Aromatic, which is a fantastic, vibrant pink colour. Quite a punchy tonic, but we're quite a punchy spirit, so we think we really hold up to it. And being punchy is very much at the heart of who we are. We recommend a single 25ml serve to a bottle of tonic, so not a double and not a splash. We've got lots and lots of flavour in there, and I think it's really important to have that because when you don't have the alcohol, you need something else. And for me, that's about replacing it with exciting flavour. So the Pink Lady, as we call it there, it's quite aromatic on the nose. That comes from the cardamom, a really sort of moorish, delicious, sweet, spicy smell. It's quite complex, it's quite layered, quite different flavours unfolding as you drink through it. There's some rosemary through the backbone of it, and a long, cool, clean finish. So quite a lot going on. And the great thing about having a strong flavour is it really stands up when you make cocktails. So anybody here make cocktails? Anybody? Good. People are listening as well, so that's a good start. Excellent. So one of the things I find is really important when you use strong flavors like apple juice and pineapple, things like that can easily knock things out. So we've purposely got this strong spirit that you can use, and we've got lots of ideas in our little cocktail book there. We've got a new version of the cocktail book coming out in a couple of weeks. Wasn't quite ready for today, unfortunately. But lots and lots of different things you can do with it. And for me, versatility is very important because people like drinking different things, and they like drinking different things at different times of the year. So you might want a hot shot at the moment, tastes delicious with a bit of honey and some star anise. We actually grow our own honey. We have hives. We've also given away over 100,000 borage seeds, the bee flower, which the company is named after, as something that we really think is important, and we do. So we're trying to get more onto the on-trade. I think one of the great advantages we have is, as we're using a single shot rather than a double, that obviously gives you greater license for making a profit margin. But also, it's so super simple. You can just knock out a Borrago and tonic with a shot of Borrago to a bottle of tonic, and it's done. Anybody can do it. It's low complexity. The recipe, you've been digging around the back. The recipe is written on your free bar blade in case you forget it. So it's super simple. And then if you want to get more excited, we've got some ideas, but we love it when people come up with their own cocktail ideas. And we had one recently which is black. It's got charcoal in it. It's a martini. It's totally insane. And there's no way I would have ever come up with that. So it's really exciting to see people buying into the category and really getting involved in making cocktails. If you do like the Borrago, which obviously we hope you do, we have a retail RRP of $19.99. You get 20 shots, which makes 20 drinks in a bottle. You can get us with Anotrika. We're with Matthew Clark's Extended range. We're with Craft Drinks and a few other wholesalers and distributors. And also you can purchase us direct. So you can come direct to us for a minimum order of 1 case of 6 as well. So really hope you like it. We're going to be around for some questions if you want to have a chat later. And hope to see lots of orders coming from people here. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Has anyone got any particular questions for Borrago? And then I will bring the others in and we can do some more questions.
Hi there. It's only specifically because you dropped in the P word, profit. What would you expect the relative retail pricing of that to be versus a gin and tonic?
On a second.
I'm not quite loud enough. So we normally recommend that we go out at the same price as a single G&T with your house gin in it. And I think that tends to work quite well, also in the mental perception. I think it's important that we go out in the same sort of bracket. a large part of enjoying a non-alcoholic drink is the psychosomatics. They say up to 25% of the experience of drinking alcohol is actually psychosomatic, and you don't need the alcohol there. So when people get a delicious drink in a nice glass, it's well garnished, it's around the same price point, people feel like they're having the same experience. And I think that's really key, because they've shown in scientific surveys that it does actually raise the heart rate and the body temperature goes up and you become more lugubrious, if I said that correctly. You speak more.
Cool. Just to add to that, because price point comes up a lot in the alcohol-free category, and one of the things that we're training people about and talking about a lot is the equality of experience. I don't want to be served a half pint of Coke served out of a hose with a straw in. I'm not about to go and wait in the car for my dad. I want to enjoy the night out of everyone else, and I'm willing to pay a premium for that experience and not to be treated like I'm a second-class customer in the bar. And that's coming out more and more and more in the research that we're doing, that younger people are far more interested in the experience and the story around the ingredients and the product, and less worried about the ABV of the product itself. They want to be treated equally with that same sort of style and pizzazz. We will have some research to share on that throughout this year. Cool. Excellent. Let me just go and get Jeff. Oh, there we are. He's not hidden away. If we can all come over here so that we're in the right place. Has anyone got any more questions about the drinks in this category? Or anything you want to ask? Like, how is it made, guys? Because some people kept asking me around the outside, and I probably didn't do a very good job of it. How do you make a distilled botanical? Who wants to start?
Well, it depends who you are. I think all of us have slightly different processes. I know that ours is different to yours and to Jess. So we use steam distillation. So we don't use alcohol at any point of the process and extract all the goodness and deliciousness using steam rather than alcohol. So we don't actually de-alkalize at any point in the process. So we don't have to muddy flavors. We don't have any trace. So we've actually shipped some out to Bahrain a couple of weeks ago, and if you have any alcohol, you're in real trouble there. So we get ours to absolute zero through using steam distillation, and then we blend our individually distilled verticals and a little bit of processing, which is our hidden secret magic bits, and then put it out there. And I think one of the big differences to making a gin or something is the time process. It takes us a lot longer. It's well over a week for us to make it. There are more expensive processes involved, and we also have to run a completely aseptic, clean production area rather than letting the alcohol just burn any germs off. So there's lots of other things we have to do to make it work within that. But over to you about how you guys do it.
We use a slightly different technique. We've got 18 botanicals across all our three variants, and we individually distill and extract the flavors out of those botanicals, and then we mix these extracts and distillates in the end and dilute it with water, and also making sure that it's never above 0.5% in alcohol, which is the classification for non-alcoholic. And to be 100% sure, we run ABV testing on all of our batches, just to make sure that we never go above any limits. So we have some traces of alcohol in our product, but they are comparable to what you would find in orange juice and vanilla essence. So,
thank you. Once again, there's a few similarities with the way that we manufacture our product, a few differences. We use different extraction techniques, individually extract each of the botanics. So I guess, well, somebody explained it to me, it's like when you cook your vegetables for Sunday lunch, that you don't put all the vegetables together in one pot because they all cook differently. And the same principle applies to the ingredients that we use, that we individually extract them. We use steam distillation, maceration, hydrolysis, a couple of other techniques, and then blend them together at the end. Like you guys explained, that it is a lengthy process. The maceration takes the best part of 2 months. So consequently, it's a more expensive process, and hence there's a premium to be paid for that. So I guess we're all slightly different, but coming up with the same.
Yeah, and it's a point that I always raise and is always worth you sharing with your customer, which is these products do cost more to make and don't have the natural ingredient in it that keeps the shelf life, I guess. So you have to work a lot harder to get this product. And so it's worth always sharing that, because whenever I share that with a consumer, they get it and they understand some hard work and some love has gone into this product as well. Yeah, let me come here.
Hi, so who would you say is your target market for alcohol-free gins or spirits? Which age bracket is most popular?
So which age bracket are we aimed at? It's an interesting question these days.
I think it's actually obviously above 18 because with having mixers and sugar and that, we never ever market to under 18s, even though we're non-alcoholic. But it's a lot broader than you think, and for me, it's less about age and more about moments and experience. You find people who are driving who don't want to drink, and they're all sorts of ages. You find people who want to cut down on drinking, and actually they're all sorts of ages. So, there's a lot of chat about the sort of key millennial segment all wanting to drink less, but you're actually seeing that through different age groups as well, where I think the messages are sinking in probably to different amounts, but you're finding that there's people in their 40s and 50s and their 60s and 70s who are also going, actually, maybe we should be drinking less than we are.
Yeah, so our strategic target would be around, and we're learning as we go. We're very newly launched. We just launched 6 months ago. As you know, this is a very a new category as well. Our strategic target, we think, is 30 to 40 something. We are a super premium product. People are paying a premium price. So obviously, maybe if you're in your early 20s, you might not have the means to treat yourself. However, we are seeing that a lot when we do shows and even from early statistics from retailers is that both we have a lot of consumers both in their 20s but actually also in their 60s. So it's not that straightforward.
Thanks. I think, as you might have touched on there, that it's not so much an age, but it's a mindset is the sort of demographic that what we're doing in the category is that it's a reflection of a healthier lifestyle that we seem to be adopting. That we, as a nation, drink less. We're becoming healthier, probably a little bit more aware of all the things that are bad for us and the things that we shouldn't be taking in too much of. So sugar, alcohol being two of the prime ones that seem to be constantly on TV at the moment. And it's appealing for the people who are becoming more mindful and embracing that sort of way of life, as opposed to targeting a particular age group. But as I say, more of a sort of believing in a way of embracing what we're all trying to achieve.
Yeah, the stats are showing it is actually cross-generational, even though journalists like to do shock and awe stories about young people not drinking as much. It's got a bit boring, really, hasn't it? Anyway, thank you all for coming today. If you have a venue yourself that you're really proud of for its alcohol-free range or its low alcohol range as well, you can sign up free on our guide, clubsodaguide.com. Have a look at it on your phone. I'm really pleased with it. It's got over 600 alcohol-free drinks on it, and you can tag which of those drinks you've got behind your bar. So go and do that, and we'll be running lots of publicity over this year for venues that sign up and working with you on that, and all of you guys are on that guide as well. So thanks very much for your time today, and thank you to Ben from Fever Tree as well. Thank you.